Okay, here are some quick ideas about creative possibilities using the groove function, and I'll run through these pretty quickly, so if you're not familiar with the groove function, then it's best to watch the other videos that are made which go over how the groove function works. And I haven't spent a massive amount of time on fine-tuning these, as you'll hear. Really, there are a bunch of starting points which need a lot of work. Here's a drum loop from a free loop masters pack. And I've duplicated the track and applied a groove to just the clip in the duplicate track. Added a filter, EQ'd it to my taste, and this is how they sound together. Okay, so here I'm using the same loop as before, and again I've duplicated the track and added a groove to the duplicate clip only. And in the duplicate clip I've isolated some sounds in the clip's volume envelope, turned off the grid, and moved the clip's start marker to a new position. I added a subtle delay, a frequency shifter, and again I've EQ'd it to my taste. And here's how they sound before and after. Okay, this is a recording of a bonfire at a firework display. So I've isolated the rhythm that I like in this by drawing a volume envelope using the utility device. I then exported it and extracted its groove and dropped the groove file onto a MIDI track containing a simpler with this drum loop loaded into it. I messed with the ADSR values and the starting point for playback so that it sounds like this. I then recorded that into another track and extracted its groove, imported it into a MIDI track, edited the MIDI notes, and added an Ableton drum kit to it. And then stuck a 4/4 kick under it. And kept the original bonfire edit in there as well. I mean, straight off the bat, it's nothing special. It's okay, but it could be a lot better with a lot more tweaking. Okay, here I've recorded some birdsong. And then gated it mainly to reduce background noise. And then froze and flattened the track and extracted the groove from it and dropped the groove file onto a MIDI track, and then I split the file into 3 parts and edited them separately. I deleted some notes, moved some of them up and down the piano roll, also lengthened some of the notes, and then I placed the clips onto separate tracks, each of which contained a different version of one of Contact 5's African drum kits. And here's how they sound. And now all of them together. Okay, I'll just start off with a drum loop. And I've duplicated the track and inverted the phase on it, so now that when both are played together, they cancel out, which results in silence. And now I'll add a groove to the duplicate clip, which means that the clips are not identical anymore, which also means we'll now hear something. And I just added a random plugin to the track, which luckily has helped give it a nice layered effect. it's possible to get some creative results when applying grooves to things other than drums or bass sounds and things like that. So here's a violin sample. I've added some warp markers at random points and set the warp mode to tone, and dropped a random groove onto it and pushed the global value up to 130%. That might be a good starting point for something experimental. And here I've just added a frequency shifter plugin and just picked a preset. Okay, again, it would need a lot of work until I was happy with it, but it's just a quick example of how to experiment with different types of material. So there's, of course, endless sources of natural rhythm, and you don't need a great microphone to capture the source material. So here I just stuck my mobile in my hood while it was raining and just recorded that. I isolated the rhythm that I wanted, extracted the groove, dropped the groove file onto a MIDI track, loaded up some simplers, and added some effects, and I'll play it quick. And again, it's just a starting point that needs a lot of work. There's rhythm everywhere. Okay, finally, I bought a device from a crowdfunding project where you attach probes to plants, which then converts electrical currents from the plants into MIDI data. So here's a house plant playing a Balinese gamelan. And each time I added water to the plant stopped playing.